All right, welcome to another edition of Unstoppable REI, and I'm here with my good friend Jason Malabute. Did I get that right, Jason?
Yes, sir, you did.
I'm not gonna tell me. I'm not gonna tell what you told me the image in my head to remember. We'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, so man, let's just get right started, Jason. So tell me your story. I mean, your 30-second elevator pitch. Tell me about you, man.
Yeah, so born and raised here in Los Angeles, California. I was born with cerebral palsy, but I did not let that stop me from getting into entrepreneurship and real estate investing.
Nice.
Started off my career as a accountant CPA back in 2015.
Okay.
Quickly realized that that was not for me. And then in 2018, that's when I got caught with a real estate bug.
Sure.
And then 2019, that's when I started to invest in single family homes in Indianapolis, Indiana,
Okay.
which is thousands of miles away from me.
Sure.
Then in 2020, I decided that I want to transition from single family into multifamily. So that's when I started to work with my mentor, Sterling White, closely.
Yeah.
He has close to 10 years of experience in real estate and close to 500 units on the multi-family side.
Wow.
So, so basically, everything that I learned from him about multi-family investing.
Okay.
And then in 2021, I decided to really bet on myself. I quit my job as an accountant, sold all my single family homes. Actually, I sold my last single family rental property a couple weeks ago, and I'm proud to say that I've never lost money in real estate.
Wow.
I have broken even on some deals I made a profit, but I've learned more lessons from the deals that I have broken even from compared to the one that uh that I have made a profit on. And now in 2022, I'm just focusing on the acquisition side of the multifamily business. We're looking at Indianapolis, Indiana, and Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And other than that, I am networking with other real estate professionals. And actually, I am starting my own local meetup here in Los Angeles, California.
That's fantastic, man. I gotta say, you, my friend, are an inspiration. I remember when we met just a few weeks ago. Um, a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. You are, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I mean, this obviously is called the Unstoppable REI, just because I want to talk to people that have not allowed anything to stop them from achieving the wealth and that's available to them in real estate. And so, but I'm going to save that question for last. I'll hit you for that. Hit you with that in just a second. So here's what I want to know: what do you wish you would have known when you started your career? Just one thing you wish you would have known when you started in real estate.
When I first started in real estate, what I wish that I knew was how to reach out to owners directly.
Okay.
Because back in 2019, when I first started buying single family houses, I was using a broker
Okay.
and I was new to the game. And something that I realized was that, you know, naturally brokers want to selling properties at market value.
Yeah, sure.
So 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 they don't really care about your return on your money.
Right.
So I wish that if I was doing what I'm doing now, which is I have built my own staff.
Okay.
I've trained my own staff to make cold calls for me, to actually reach out to owners for me, so that we can acquire properties at a price that actually makes more sense when it
Sure.
comes to returns. I think that would have been a game changer for me when I first started.
Yeah, I'm sure. Nice, but at least you know it now, and it's and it's funny you mentioned about learning more from the deals that you broke even from than the ones you profited from. I think that you do you tend to learn more from failures than successes. Although, I mean, people say, well, you don't, it's not a failure. You either win or you learn, and I understand that. But the deals that didn't go well or the situations that didn't go well, don't you feel like you learn more from those?
Yes, because I don't know if you're a basketball fan, Rufus,
Yeah, yeah,
but I always compare real estate investing to basketball because I grew up playing basketball.
okay,
So I remember when when Kobe Bryant first came into the league, and then he shot those three air balls against the Utah Jazz
mm,
during his first playoff run.
yeah,
You know, he did not tuck his tail behind his legs. I mean, sorry, he didn't tuck his tail between his legs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I understand.
So, so the same night after he missed those air balls, he went straight to the gym and he practiced his drum shot over and over again. And then what happened after that was history,
Right.
and the same thing happened to me in real estate. Like I've made a lot of mistakes in real estate,
Yeah.
but instead of letting that uh, discourage me, I've actually learned from them. I've studied them. I've asked people who are more experienced than me, hey, this is what I did, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Would you have done differently? And then
Yeah.
I studied that.
Now, speaking of that, man, what do you think? What was your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that specifically?
so, so luckily for me, uh, um, my biggest failure did not actually materialize,
Oh,
but
nice.
uh, but if it did materialize, whew, man, it would cost me a moolah. So what happened was it
Yeah.
was the first bird deal, and for those who don't know what's a bird, it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat.
Got it.
So, so what happened was I bought a property that was very distressed.
Okay.
I bought it for like 40,000 or something. And what I did was I didn't know how to read a inspection report.
Okay.
And and the inspection report showed that there was tube wiring in the in the property and also other major red flags, and I totally skipped over that, and I just did mostly cosmetic repairs on the property,
Okay.
and it did not potentially bite me until it was time to exit out of the property, and then we had several cash offers put up property back out because of the red flags.
Okay.
However, through my networking, I was actually able to sell it to my friend, and we got our asking price, so everything is fine now.
Nice.
However, that could have really turned left for us.
Yeah, that could have been a big problem. What advice, man, would you give to someone that wants to get started? I mean, that wants to do what you're doing. What advice would you give them?
I would tell them get a mentor when you're first starting,
Okay.
somebody who could hold your hand. Um, don't worry about how much it costs you to get a mentor, be- because that is small compared to the value that you're going to get from them, and also that is small compared to the price that you would pay if you made a major mistake.
Right. No, and I think that's a good way to look at it because I don't think that people look at it that way. First of all, I think most people, I don't know if most, but a lot of people are scared to get a mentor, probably because of the price. But they forget to compare that to 100,000. I mean, paying $10,000 to avoid losing $500,000 or something. I mean, it's a small price to pay. So, what would have been your best resources, man, along the way here? I know you talked about mentors and stuff. But what would be your best resources?
So, so the best the best resource obviously is your mentor,
Yes.
especially assuming that they have had years of experience in real estate,
Right.
because not only can you tap into their knowledge and experience, but you can also tap into their network as
Mm,
well.
okay.
So, so I was able to make connections that would have taken me years to make connections with to my mentors.
Okay.
And then also another good resource obviously is
Okay.
biggerpockets.com,
Yeah.
because you're able to learn a lot from their forums, podcasts, and books. And lastly, I always tell people people should look into uh, Cardone University, because Cardone University teaches you about sales, and everything in life is about sales,
Right.
because even when you are buying, you are selling.
It's a good point. Good point. Um, so what Cardone University? I've heard that from a couple of different people. So does he have a lot of different courses, or how does that? What does he
So,
offer?
so Cardone University has a collection of courses
Okay.
in that one program,
I see.
and basically you just pay like $97 a month,
Okay.
and then you get access to a whole bunch of sales courses,
Okay.
which is stuff that I use when I am talking to sellers. You know,
Yeah.
when I'm talking to other investors, professionals, I'm always I'm always using what I've learned from Cardone. In fact, in fact, just by me being on this podcast, I learned that from Cardone University,
Yeah.
because you want as much people to know your brand.
Yes.
So that's the biggest advantage of being on a podcast.
Right. Nice. Yeah, I love it. Now you already mentioned. Well, here's the question. I was getting ahead of myself. Who are the three people that have been most influential for you? And I know Sterling. You said is one. Sterling is what is Sterling's last name?
Sterling White.
Sterling White. Okay, I'm assuming he's one of them, right? One of the
Yes.
third. Okay, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. What are the
So
other two? Yeah.
so outside my parents, right? Outside my parents, which obviously they're a big influence.
Sure. Absolutely.
Uh, Then another one is Kobe Bryant because I just like his mentality. I like his work ethic when it comes to his craft, and that's something that I apply to my business. It's
Okay.
like kind of mamba mentality kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then another influence that I have is Nipsey Hussle. I don't know if you're familiar with Nipsey Hussle, but he is my favorite rapper because during those times when I am not feeling myself, I, I just listen to his music and I think, wow, here's somebody who's going through that same journey,
Okay.
that same emotions that I'm going through right now,
Sure.
as an entrepreneur, as a businessman.
Yeah. Nice. So I'm curious. With regard to Kobe, how do you apply his ethic to what you do? I mean, you never sleep. I mean, what do you what do you do? How do you do that?
So uh, actually, when you look at people like Kobe, Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
Tom Brady, LeBron James, they take their sleep very seriously because uh, they don't see sleep as as a break, but rather they see sleep as part of their training, and that's something
Wow.
I do as well.
Okay. Nice.
Um, so I go to bed super early. I'm in bed by like 8:30 at night,
Okay.
and then I wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
um, just so that I can get a head start on my competition. Look at what has to be done for the day. How can we
Okay.
get closer to our goals? And um studying other investors and also studying myself as well.
Okay.
What am I doing today that I could work on so that I can be a better person tomorrow? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's interesting. So when you study other investors, what are you? I mean, are you saying like you're reading their books or their material, or just how do you study them? Is that how you do that primarily?
So so uh, for example, I'm a big fan of people like Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm saying how are they thinking when it comes to real estate investment? Because
Okay.
I would say real estate is mostly eh, it's more mental than it is technical.
Okay.
So I'm studying him. And then also I'm talking to other investors as well.
Okay.
I am asking them, uh, how do you feel about this market? How did you get this deal?
Okay.
Oh, okay, I get it. You made these numbers work because you have fudged up the numbers to make the deal look nice. So now I know what not to do. And then
Okay.
also, I'm reviewing our calls to owners. I am reviewing our CRM. I am seeing what was my reps communication with this GM the last time that she talked to them.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Since they talked about that last time, okay. Let's send her a link to a book that would help her in her situation. So
Nice.
it's about building rapport and having a relationship with sellers.
Nice. Yeah, that's very smart, man. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna have to sign up for Grant Cardone University. Um, so what do you think is a big myth that you can debunk about real estate, man?
That that real estate is a passive business
Okay.
because because it's because it is everything but passive because I work so much on my real estate business on the acquisition side. We make
Okay.
calls every single day. We send direct mail every single month. We send text. We're skip tracing people's contact information. We're reaching out to them not only by phone but also via email through social media.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm also doing my own meetup groups so I can expand my brand.
Yeah.
I am having on podcasts just like this
Yeah.
that I can expand my brand even more. I'm going to conferences.
Okay.
So there's a lot that goes into real estate investing and just you collecting the rent every single month.
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense. So if you were sitting on this side and you were asking the questions, man, what should I be asking you that I'm not asking you? What do you think I should be asking?
Maybe why did I decide to transition from a single family to multi-family?
Okay, so tell me about that.
So so well, I know this when I was doing the burn method is
Yeah.
that it takes you about 6 months for you to get your capital back
Okay.
from when you are doing the burn method, right? Because it takes a, a few weeks for you to rehab the property. It takes you a few weeks to get a qualified tenant,
Yeah.
and then it takes you a couple months to refinance the property and get your cash back.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm spending all this time on just one door.
Gotcha.
I could be using more my time more efficiently if I'm doing this for let's say 10 doors at a time, 20
Gotcha.
doors at a time, 100 doors at a time. So
Yeah.
so for me, Rufus, it's all about scale.
Okay. Got it. Makes sense. And have you so you sold off all your single families now? Have you made any of the multifamily purchases yet? Or are you still kind of researching that?
We're so prospecting,
Okay.
and also we are reaching out to owners right now.
Okay.
In fact, I'm talking to a couple owners right now as we speak.
Okay.
Um, so that when they're ready to sell it, they will sell it to me, hopefully, because we have that relationship.
Got it.
We
Got it.
have that rapport.
Very smart. So before I ask the last question, man, how can people reach out to you? How can they connect with you?
So I am on all social media. It's Jason Malabute at Jason Malabute. And then you could also find out more information about me through my website. It's www.jasonmalabute.com. And Rufus, what did I teach you? How do you pronounce my last name?
Mulabute. Is that right?
And why is that, Rufus?
I'll just say because first you got to get the moolah, and then after that you get something else. I'm not gonna something else that Jason said. I'm not gonna repeat that. Um, so so here's my last question for you, man. So this is what I was alluding to right when we first started talking. So um, if you Google the term real estate investor failure rate, you and I talked about this when we first met, you'll see that 95% of real estate investors fail. Okay. And you obviously are not failing, you're succeeding. And that's what this podcast is all about, is talking to people that are succeeding so I can learn what they're doing different. So, two questions. How would you define the word unstoppable? And what have you done? You've been talking a little bit about this the whole time, but what did you do to make yourself unstoppable when it came to achieving success and achieving the goals in real estate that you wanted to achieve?
So you only truly fail when you give up,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about my favorite rapper, which is Nipsey, and he is most famous for his saying, for his slogan, when he says, "The marathon continues." That means that you go every single day, you lay down a brick every single day.
Okay.
Even though you don't feel like it, even though things are not going the way that you are expecting it to go,
Yeah.
you keep on laying that brick. And then one day when you step back, you will see that you have build a whole castle, because I've failed so many times in my life,
Yeah.
and I could have quit a long time ago,
Sure.
but then that is not how my story is going to end. You
Got it.
know?
Got it. I love it. I love that. So, man, I'm gonna have to, man, I'm taking all kind of notes. I got to get Nipsey Hussle some songs. I got to join Cardone University, man. I love it. So, Jason, man, I really appreciate you taking time to meet with me. I would love for this not to be the last time we connect. I don't get to LA very often, but you've given me a reason to come out there. And so, tell me, how's the group going? The meetup? Have you started? Have you had the first meeting?
So, so, um, so we're gonna have two virtual meetups first before we have a live meetup in June.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a meetup on the last Wednesday of every month,
Okay.
and it's through a partnership with a group called Multifamily Masters.
Mm, okay.
We are a big group. We have about 7,000 members on Facebook alone,
Wow.
and then we have 2,000 members in the Los Angeles meetup. So,
Okay.
so, so I would love it if everybody who's watching this can show some love, and I would love to meet you guys in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well, I'm gonna do everything I can to get out there, and I just want to say, man, you are an inspiration, my friend. I love what you're doing, and I think that, and the reason why, I mean, I do these podcasts really for selfish reasons. I mean, I want to learn and grow and meet people, and I can't tell you the advice that I get from people, that things that I never even thought of, like, whatever it might be. So, like, well, like you said, when you're buying, you're really selling, and so a lot of good information. So, man, I really appreciate it. Again, I don't want this to be the last time, but I appreciate the time, and we'll talk again real soon. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Rufus.
No problems. Pleasure's all mine, Jason. We'll talk to you later. Now, we can talk about what you said about your name later. That's kind of stuck in my head. But we'll talk about. Is that part of your brand, man?
I, While I was saying that now, I was like, holy smokes, I should be saying that more often,
Yes, I think you should. I think you
It's
should.
very, very catchy,
It,
it's catchy.
it is. I love it. I love it. So I just gotta say, when my wife's not around, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess that's she's what I got. Well, anyway, we'll leave that subject alone. All right, Jason, well, you take care. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you, Rufus.
Okay, you bet. Take care. Bye now.